Hey geocachers, what is up? This is Keats94 and I am in Port Alberni with my dad. Say hi.
Hi everybody. I'm responsible for Keats94. It's all my fault.
We're out, like I said, we're out in Port Alberni and we're gonna do some geocaching and maybe have some donuts and coffee and all that kind of stuff. So come along, we'll see what we can find, and welcome to Port Alberni on beautiful Vancouver Island. So here we are at an Adventure Lab stage, and it was really interesting because there's a town just south of here called Bamfield, B-A-M-F-E-I-L-D.
I after E, except after C.
And anyway, this is a lifeboat, and I thought, okay, the Adventure Lab owner spelled the name wrong of the lifeboat because it's B-A-N as in north. But it's true. They actually wrote Banfield. Banfield. Yeah. So this is a Canadian Coast Guard boat, and it's made out of wood. And you can tell because it's official government logo here. So we're at the Alberni train station here, and it was restored in 1990, built in 1911. And what I find really cool is that they have this sign here. Obviously, no trains are really passing through here recently, but we still have the train tracks behind us here, destined to places like, well, I guess Parksville and Qualicum and Nanaimo and then all the way down to Victoria eventually. So at one point, Vancouver Island's railway was quite expansive. Some of those railways went as far up as, I would say, even Port McNeill and Port Hardy. So very impressive.
The Tatouche. This is cool.
The Tatouche.
I never knew about this place. Oh, I love it. The Maritime Museum in... you don't have my union permission to film it. I'm just using my falsetto Irish voice. The Maritime Museum in Vancouver, I don't believe, has quite these types of ocean-going craft.
No, there's definitely a wide assortment of ocean-going vessels here. Like
there is, and many an octopi and giant squid.
I see what appears to be a watermelon inside the.
Is that a watermelon?
It looks like a watermelon.
Nice. There isn't a corpse washing up all. Very nice. Very nice area.
Walking to the lighthouse. So we're at the final stage of this Adventure Lab, and we learned something new about the area. So Spanish explorers really wanted this land. They desperately were looking for places to colonize. So the original name that was given on Spanish charts was Canal de Alberni. That was the Spanish name that was given to this area. Behind us we have a lighthouse. It's very maritime, very west coast, and actually it has a bit of an east coast vibe too. Anyway.
He equivocates a lot. It was named after the captain of the Catalonian army, Pedro de Alberni.
Pedro de Alberni.
De Alberni.
Oui. See. Of course, this inlet had other First Nations names that were here long before that. So
which we don't know what
which
they
we
were.
don't we don't know the names. And
We haven't found them yet.
Feel like
we will.
We will find the names, and maybe be able to add that to this episode. So in every Port Alberni experience, we have to have some of the best, finest donuts on Vancouver Island. Of course, this is all that I have left, so you can tell it's really that
This
good.
is my gluten-free, organic, anti-negative calorie donut.
It's a very healthy experience. Walking the streets of Port Alberni here, and who do I see? We got ourselves a Zeppelin 94. And I know I dropped my pen. We also have a Craig Taylor. That's my dad and Craig's mom right there. And anyway, we're looking for some geocaches and walking down this very lonely road. Okay, so this is gonna do one of those things where you're just gonna have to spot the geocache. I'm gonna pan. Craig, are you the geocache?
No.
No. Is the stop sign a geocache? No. Well, I'll give you a clue. It's kind of a concrete-like situation. Let's just get a little bit closer to it. Check this out. There we go. Ta-da! Yay! Woo! Okay. I'm gonna put it back where it rightfully belongs. Right in here. Walking along the boardwalk in Port Alberni. Port Alberni in 1964 had a very aggressive tsunami that wiped out a good chunk of the town. Well, behind me is a tsunami warning siren. So it lets the town know when to leave and keeps the town nice and safe. So here's something you don't see every day. We are in a parking lot in Port Alberni, and in the bushes here are Coast Guard icebreaker propeller blades, and they're just in the bushes here. Like, there's a plaque that lists it as a icebreaker prop blade, but never would have expected that in this bush in Port Alberni. Hey geocachers, right now we are actually in the middle of the wilds of Vancouver Island looking for a number of geocaches near Qualicum Beach. And this next cache is called Peekaboo Highway View because there's a highway down there that goes up all the way up to Port Hardy and goes also all the way down to Victoria, our province's capital. And there's a stump here, and I wonder, is the cache in here? Oh, what's this? It's a painted rock. Cool. How cool is that? Let's see if there's a cache under the painted rock. I have no idea. Wow, I just guessed that. I wasn't even navigating to this thing at all. I was just like, bingo, you know what? Painted rock, cool cache with a peace sign on it. I might just give this thing a favorite point. Of all the caches in the middle of nowhere. Some great caches out here around Qualicum Beach. Frig yeah, bud. Got ourselves another geocache. Woo! This cache is called Funky Stump, mainly because of that funky stump. We can check out this really trippy camo tape. So trippy, dude. Very Vancouver Island. And folks, thank you very much for watching another episode of Keats94’s geocaching adventures here on Vancouver Island. We went to Port Alberni and we also explored some geocaches in the Qualicum Beach area. Want to thank you very much for coming along on this awesome adventure. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because I don't know where I'm going to be, but I want to make sure that I have content coming on to the YouTube channels every Friday. Happy caching, everybody. Hey, so behind me is when to evacuate and run for higher ground. So without these, it'd be very difficult to know if you should run or not. So good for these for existing.